Good morning, I'm Taylor Wilson, and today is Tuesday, January 9th, 2024. This is The Excerpt. Today, the latest problem surrounding a Boeing aircraft, plus a Texas hotel explodes, and finding a remote job might be getting harder. An Alaska Airlines flight from Portland, Oregon to Ontario, California made a dramatic emergency landing late Friday night after part of the plane's side burst off at 16,000 feet. All passengers and crew deplaned safely after the emergency landing. Shortly after taking off, a mid-cabin door plug separated from the fuselage, the main body section of an aircraft. Experts say the incident could have been catastrophic had it happened at a higher altitude. It's the latest incident for Boeing's 737 MAX line of planes. The Federal Aviation Administration is grounding nearly 200 737 MAX 9 jets following the incident, and United Airlines and Alaska Airlines both said they found loose parts on numerous grounded MAX 9 planes. Previously, two Boeing 737 MAX 8 jets crashed in 2018 and 2019, killing hundreds of people. All the planes were grounded worldwide for nearly 2 years until Boeing made changes to an automated flight control system. At least 21 people were injured after an explosion yesterday rattled a hotel building in Fort Worth, Texas, according to authorities. One person was in critical condition and another 4 were seriously injured, according to a medical spokesperson. The Fort Worth Fire Department said the smell of gas spread throughout the city's downtown area, and investigators are confident the blast was some kind of gas explosion. Photos of the explosion showed windows and debris blown out and scattered across the street. The blast took place at a historic building that dates back to 1920. Finding a remote job is getting harder, especially if you want a high-earning one. But remote work isn't going away altogether anytime soon. I spoke with USA Today Money reporter Bailey Schulz about the latest numbers. Bailey, thanks for hopping on.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So Bailey, what does research show about the recent dip in remote and hybrid job postings, and how is this dip especially prominent among high-paying jobs?
So, after seeing a spike in hybrid and remote job opportunities during the pandemic, data does show that these numbers are going down. So, there's a new report that just came out recently that shows that this is especially prevalent among high paying jobs, with the number of six-figure hybrid job postings down nearly 70% at the end of 2023 compared to the previous quarter. So Ladders, the career site behind this report, says that the dip comes as companies want their highest earners back in the office. And then when you have experts looking at the overall dip in remote work and hybrid work, they say that this might be a sign of the cooling labor markets, with jobs that are typically remote friendly posting fewer jobs overall.
Interesting stuff. So what sectors are seeing the biggest dips in remote work openings right now?
Yeah, so this report we have from Career Site Ladders shows that there was a dip in high-paying hybrid job postings across all sectors, but this decline was especially prevalent in healthcare, where the number of hybrid jobs went from making up about 11% of postings in the third quarter of last year to closer to 4% in the fourth quarter.
What reasons do experts give for these dips, Bailey?
Experts have pointed to both the cooling labor market, which means fewer job postings overall, and also companies' push for employees to return to the office for work.
And you did write that remote work is clearly not going away anytime soon. What can we expect for these types of positions in the coming years?
Yeah, so we know that the overall work from home numbers have been dropping from their peak back in 2020. But the interesting thing is that these numbers have sort of tapered off and have remained flat for the most part through 2023. So experts are saying we might even see a rebound in work from home numbers as companies adjust to work from home trends.
What advice do experts give for finding remote work going forward?
So there's a lot of competition for these positions, and experts say that people looking for a remote jobs should, one, schedule time every week dedicated to the job search, and also make sure that those goals and their search is realistic. So don't spend every second of your free time sending applications, and also be prepared to hear the word no. Another tip is to set up alerts on various job sites to stay on top of these new job postings and stay ahead of the competition.
Great advice. Bailey Schulz covers money for USA Today. Thanks as always, Bailey.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
A congressional budget deal could deflate an IRS effort to pursue wealthy tax cheats. President Joe Biden added nearly $80 billion in new IRS funding to the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022. That money was supposed to be set aside to collect unpaid taxes from the wealthy and to improve the agency's customer service, among other uses. But congressional Republicans have been chipping away at the windfall. And in a bipartisan budget agreement announced on Sunday, the IRS would lose $20 billion of the new funding this year, according to a Politico report. Republican lawmakers have pushed for IRS cuts, arguing that a campaign of audits would hurt small businesses and regular Americans. Biden himself and Republican then House Speaker Kevin McCarthy previously agreed to reduce the appropriation by $20 billion last spring. You can read more with a link in today's show notes. The Michigan Wolverines are college football champions. The number one team in the country took down number 2 Washington last night, 34-13, bringing Michigan its first football championship since 1997. The victory came after a turbulent season for Michigan, including suspensions from recruiting violations and a sign-stealing scandal. In the end, they went undefeated, a perfect 15-0. Questions now surround the future of head coach Jim Harbaugh and whether he might jump to the NFL for his next job. You can read more from USA Today Sports. Thanks for listening to The Excerpt. You can get the podcast wherever you get your audio, and if you use a smart speaker, just ask for The Excerpt. I'm Taylor Wilson, back tomorrow with more of The Excerpt from USA Today.